Good morning, guys. Today we're going to talk about check registers. So, check registers are basically something that you record all of your deposits in or the checks that you write just to keep track of what your balance is. Because checks are not cashed. Well, now it's a little bit different with our technology, but checks are not typically cashed immediately. So, it's money that's no longer in your account, but it hasn't technically been pulled from your account. So you want to keep track of it so then you never have a negative balance, okay, or have a bounce check because of it. So whenever you write a check, you're going to subtract the amount of the check from the balance. So this is what a check register looks like. Typically, there's much more lines so that you have room to write all your different checks. In this column, you'll write the check number or the type of transaction. So AT was an automatic transfer. The description of what the transaction is, so where you wrote it or who you wrote the check for. The date is also included so you can keep track of that. This is what you paid or debited. So when you debit, it's a negative amount you would be subtracting from your account. This side is for your dollars, and this column is for your cents. Deposits, so that's money that you add to your account. Those would go in this section of a check register. So this would be adding $240.32 to their account. And what this little check stands for is if the check has actually gone through. So you've seen it pulled from your balance. This is typically done digitally now, so not many people keep these anymore, but it's good to have just in case, one, you don't have access to a phone to look it up, you don't have Wi-Fi, whatever it may be, so you always know what's in your account. And so you can double check to make sure there's any errors. All right, so number one, we have this check register. This is the balance that they currently have. So the balance brought forward is like what's in their account right now. These are their debits, and these are their credits. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill it in. This is the balance, so $448.35. They wrote some type of check, so there was a debit of $46.92. So you're going to take this $448.35 and subtract the $46.92. And then you'll put that in this box. So it will become, when you subtract those, $401.43. So now this is your new balance. You have a credit. So a credit is something you'll add to your account. So you're going to take your 401.43 and add 216.84. So 401.43 plus 216.84, you should get 618.27. Once again, this is your new balance. You now wrote another check or had a debit of some sort. So you're going to take this new balance and you're going to subtract the 251.55. And you should get 366.72. Okay, so there's example one. Example two is the same idea. We have our check numbers, the dates that they were written, the different companies that they were written to, and they're all checks, so they're all debits. That's all money coming out of the account. So you're going to start with this 209.81. This is the first check that went out, so you're going to subtract 47.15 from it. So 209.81 minus 47.15, you should get 162.66. This is the new balance. You wrote another check, subtract it out. So 162.66 minus 53.03, and you get 109.63. Same thing, do it again. My new balance, subtract off your debit. So 109.63 minus 107.30, you should get 233. Okay, so that's how you're going to fill those in. What I want you to do now is number 3 on your own. In the private comment, I want you to write 3, the answer to the letter A, B, C, and D. This is going to be graded, so make sure you include that as a private comment. Okay, number 4 is now bank statements. So you have a previous balance, you deposit money into your account, so that's going to be added. You withdraw money out of your account, so that's money taken out. A service charge is a fee that sometimes your bank charges to transfer money different places, to different companies. They have fees for everything. And then interest. So this interest is something you are gaining by having money in your account. Okay, so there's different types of interest that we're going to talk about in this course, but for our purposes today, this is money that the bank is giving you for continuing to have money in your account, basically. It's their little incentive to bank with them. All right, so all you're going to do is exactly what it says. You're going to start with your previous balance, add 120, then add 150 to that number, then subtract 140, then subtract 110, then subtract 270, then add 25 cents. Okay, so you're starting with 290 and doing all those operations. And you should get 307.55. Okay, so that is all you're doing. Same idea here, 965.15. You're going to add these 3 values, then subtract those 2 values and subtract this, add that, and find your balance. So I would like you to go through, once again, you're completing number 3, A through D, as a private comment. Then, after that, say example, and tell me what this present balance is going to be. And lastly, 4 through 11. So if it is easier to do it as a private comment, do it like that. Or if you want to, you can just complete it and submit this PDF. Okay, so you are completing this green box as well as this table and A through D. When you are done with that, then you're going to work on the PDF of 4.3.4.4. So 4.3 is the check registers. Make sure you're reading your questions, filling in the information you need. So you're doing number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 3 is more involved because you're filling in the actual check numbers, the dates, who they're issued to, and so on. So make sure you read this carefully. And then 4.4, you're completing these present balances, and you are not doing number 6 and you are not doing number 7. Okay, so on 4.4, you're only doing 1 through 5. All right, email me if you have any questions. Have a good day.